Yes, I'm on self-quarantine.
所以我们新增10个，境外移入的案例。
Before anything else, there are two types of self-quarantine. First is the self-quarantine imposed to people who have traveled to infected areas, people who have traveled overseas, people who may have contact with infected person, and people who are exposed to person who had direct contact with infected person. And the second one is self-health management. It's a self-precaution, it's a safety precaution by people like me. We are observing self-health management because we want to stay away from the crowd. We don't want to be exposed from people who may have been exposed to infected person, and we don't want to go to places that may have been exposed to infected person. So why am I practicing self-help management, and what's with the title? Today at 2 p.m. Tuesday, March 17, during my class, I saw a news that a student from my university is showing symptoms of COVID-19. So I immediately went out from the class and avoid any of my co-student. I also told the teacher about the news and try to clarify what it is and clarify what really is that news. Is it a fake news or a real news? Because there hasn't been any announcement from the university to my department. According to the news, the university did not allow 500 students to come to class today. So why am I in the class? So I went out from the class and I stayed outside. I was checking the news, and like there was an announcement from the CDC that a student from my university shown symptoms during his 14-day self-quarantine. Fortunately, he haven't been to the campus, but he had a direct contact with two students, and those two students have been to class since Monday. And there was no information which campus or which department or which building did these students went. So I decided to self quarantine because I don't want to infect anyone from the house. I called my teacher, and starting tomorrow I will be attending an online lesson. I told her that I'll be attending the online lesson from Wednesday to Friday until this whole situation is cleared and the school is disinfected. At 10 p.m., I saw the news that one of the students has fever, and they will know the test result by tomorrow. So I don't know yet if the whole campus will be on lockdown. Today is March 18, and we received an announcement, an update on the student who went abroad. The student tested positive and he is now number 75. Fortunately, he is still on a 14-day self-quarantine and he hasn't been to the campus. But since he had a meal with two students, these two students are now being monitored. Last night, one of the two students had a fever, but he tested negative, so he's still under monitor and they're going to run another test until he is cleared. The two students are now on self-quarantine and they are taking their classes online. And around 110 students who had contact with these two students will also take their classes online. Although everything is clarified and they have disinfected the building. Oh, by the way, that is not the same building that I go. I still plan to have a self-help management and stay away from the campus until next week, because during weekends there is a general disinfection in the campus. So I will rather wait for next week before going back to the campus. During these past 3 days, I've been keeping social distance. Whenever I talk to people, I always keep like at least 2 meters away, and I've been wearing my mask whenever I go out. And I also eat a lot of foods that are rich in vitamin C. You know, what I told you before, citrus fruit, red capsicum, papaya, ginger, garlic, broccoli, spinach, grapefruit. I've been eating those during the past 3 weeks. I also drink a lot of vitamin C, and I try to avoid anything sweet because sweet stuff can make your immune system weak. So I'm trying to boost my immune system so that I'll have the antibodies to protect myself against any viruses. Once again, I'm doing this self quarantine, better known as self health management, as a safety precaution. I'm not infected with any coronavirus or had any contact with people who had exposure to people who are infected with coronavirus. So I'm urging everyone to at least practice self precaution, practice self health management. I know that in the Philippines, a lot of people are complaining because of the lockdown. They are staying at home and they cannot live without any reason. Of course, the safest place is still your home, and if you are going outside, there might be a possibility that you may have exposure to people who are infected with coronavirus. So it's better to stay at home if you are not gonna go out to buy the basic necessities or something. It will be preferable if you just stay at home. I know that it will be very difficult for people who are working outside and it's hard to get income during this time, but what's the use of income if you are going to what's the use of money if you're going to get sick, if you're going to infect your family, or if you're going, to have more difficulties other than that. So please remain calm and use this opportunity, use this time to have a bonding with your family. So if you have the responsibility to go out and buy the basic necessity for the house, I encourage you to do a self-help management wherein whenever you come back, try to disinfect yourself and try to maintain social distance, even with your family. Try to avoid excessive physical contact. And also, I will suggest that you limit your chatting time, or whenever you chat with your family members, try to maintain that 2 meter distance, and also limit yourself whenever you speak, because you'll never know if you have contracted the disease, or you have been exposed to someone. Try to do everything to protect yourself and also to protect your family. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video.